is that moment you've all been waiting for, and I'm ready. Aren't you ready?
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
It's as good as it gets. So join me as we welcome Helen into the house.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here. So my name is Helen. I'm also known as the Venus Bushfires, and it's a pleasure to be back here.
Okay, Helen has other names, so
many. So my full name is Helen Parker Jane Osamede Isibo.
You see why I didn't bother?
So I keep it as the Venus Bushfires.
The Venus Bushfire just works for me. It works for me real
Perfect.
good.
Me too.
Yeah, very soon. She'll be adding another name to her names, right?
Very soon. I've just gotten engaged to the love of my life, Baba Apega.
Wow! And she's announcing it on national television.
For sure.
Are we invited for the wedding?
Well, there will be engagements, but we'll have a wedding in London, in the countryside. So it's just going to be a small...
Why do people go to London to have their wedding?
Because, just something small, maybe garden in the spring, something simple. And all my family and all his family's there as well.
Okay. Somebody once said that if you want to have a very cheap wedding, just go to London or Dubai, one of those places, at least before you think of flying. Like, if I have to come for your wedding, I have to think of my ticket, I have to think of accommodation. Now it's okay.
It won't be a cheap wedding. I tell you that for sure. It won't be a cheap wedding, but it's just maybe going to be in a different location. But we'll have some celebrations here and we'll invite you as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, she's saying it on national
television.
I've said it, it's here. I don't get that invite.
You'll get it, don't worry.
Don't
worry, I'll also give you the present list as well.
Congratulations.
Thank
I'm
you.
so happy.
Thank
and you're
you.
looking forward to married life, right?
Wonderful. I'm so excited. My parents have been married for, I think it's nearly 36 years now.
Wow.
And they are my inspiration and my idol for so many things.
You think you found the right person?
For sure, yes.
What makes you think so?
Because I've never considered this path before. And I know that I prayed never. And I prayed that whenever God sent me the right person, he will make it right. And so it's just been that journey. I just followed and, prayed to God in the beginning and said, is this the one? And I got the answer that I was looking for. And so that's it. Yeah.
What's that special thing that makes him special?
He really celebrates life. And on top of that, he really celebrates me as a woman, as a person, as an entertainer, as, a social advocate, my charity work, his charity work, on so many levels. Both of us, we came back to Nigeria. We didn't have to come back. I was doing very well in Europe, and he's got a global company, and he's doing very well. Didn't have to come back. But both of us in our time, we felt it was the right time to come back, and to come back together, and to find someone that you're going to do that with. Yeah.
The chemistry was just right.
Yeah, and my mum loves him, and my dad loves him as well, so she's good. Yeah.
Lucky you. So when you get married, are you going to be here?
Yeah, I live.
You relocate?
No, I live here now.
You live here now?
I'm here. I'm so happy to be back. Yes.
That's nice.
I was born in Ibadan, actually not too far away.
Okay, but you left when you were 7 years old.
I left when I was 7. I left for a while, but I always came back. But now I've kind of, dig my heels into the soil and say, this is my, this is me.
When did you make up your mind and say, okay, this is where I want to be?
To be honest, I made my mind up 15 years ago.
15?
Yeah, 15 years ago. But I wasn't in a position where I could, literally say, okay, bye everyone, I'm going. And then the music kicked off in London and I was traveling and things like that. But it's funny, like you were saying, how did I know? I met this man, and soon after we met, he said, I want to go back to Nigeria. I said, you're kidding me. I want to go back to Nigeria. And that was it. And a few months later, February this year, we both relocated.
Back to Nigeria.
Yes.
Can you beat that? Isn't that an awesome Romeo and Juliet story?
Romeo and Juliet without the poison.
No, by the grace of God, there will be no poison.
Amen. Yes.
Now, okay, we'll come back to that. But let's start off with your career while you're here, while you're here. Bushfire, Venice Bushfire. Why did you come up with that name? Actually,
it was in Edo State. My grandmothers, both of them, my mother's mum is 97, my dad's mum is 94, both living in Benin City. And I always travel. And whenever I'm home, I write songs. And so I had the name Bushfire, and I think there was so many bushfires happening in the world. I thought, okay, let me be specific. And when I was in my mother's mum's house, I thought the Venus Bushfires, and that was it. And it basically symbolizes a movement. So when I say I am the Venus Bushfires, as myself as a solo artist today, also as an artist playing with 20 musicians is the Venus Bushfires, it means the possibility of hope, possibilities endless. So the Venus Bushfires, it's the meeting between the stars and the ground, literally. That's why I wear the stick, the bamboo in my hair.
You're going mystic now, you know.
Absolutely, because I think to be able to do this, what I do for a living, what I've been blessed to do for a living, it's so much bigger than myself. So it's not easy for me to, to get quite spiritual about it, because I think to have a dream and to be able to achieve it, and my dream was to be able to do this in Nigeria. I've traveled the world. I've performed with Paul McCartney, done music for PlayStation, World Health Organization, Miley Cyrus, lots of things. But to play music here, that's been one of my dreams.
Wow.
And actually, I'm living my dream. So
wow. So
that's
when
a
did
blessing.
you conceptualize this dream?
Actually, when I was dancing for the governor in I can't remember what year it was actually, in the mid-80s, I was about 4 or 5. The governor had a party, and it was me and my sister, we were left. And I remember just people were looking, my parents were cheering, and I suppose that was my first stage. And I loved it. And I thought, oh, I like this, people clapping and you're on the stage and dancing. And I remember just really giving my all. And I was doing all these dancing, crazy things. I was trying to flip over. And I thought, I want to make this my career. Literally. And then we went to London, and you have more opportunities. The market is smaller in a way, but you also have opportunities. And my parents initially were like, no, you are going to study. You are not going to sing. Da 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 da. But every time I was studying and singing,
like your parents.
Of course. Yes. Actually, that's not even their voice, but that's my attempt to do their voice. And literally, then they saw how much I loved it, and they saw that it was actually good. And it was maybe about 10 years ago when I started making money from it. Then my mum and dad were saying, my daughter, she is a musician, rather than, just do your books and stuff like that. My dad's a doctor, my mum's in business.
Okay.
So being a musician maybe was something different than, they were expecting from me. But they always supported me.
Wow.
Even every show I've had, even international ones, they come.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they're from Edo State.
They're from Edo State, yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Can you beat that?
And they support
Niger,
so much.
Delta. We are so creative in this entertainment
We
world.
are, absolutely.
Yeah, so
I agree.
Venice Bushfire
Yes.
was something you yourself came up with.
Yes.
You
Yes.
stuck with it,
I stuck with it.
and you're riding on it.
Yes, because it's an idea, not really a name. When people say the Venus Bushfires, that's a weird name, but it's an idea.
And
It's
you
an
know, you
ideology.
get people thinking and wondering and pondering and like, okay, what is it all about?
Yes.
It's deliberate, right?
Absolutely, and I want them to think about it, and I want to stand out. I don't fit into a particular box.
Okay.
Not in the UK, not in Nigeria.
All right.
There's no one else with this instrument in the whole continent. So and no one is doing this kind of music in the world.
So you're so unique.
And I'm by the grace of God, I've been blessed with something. I'm just trying to, run with it and really introduce people to a different style of African music, different style of Nigerian music, one that is very spiritual, one that is very meditative. I do also like the as well, but I really also enjoy the peace and the calm and being able to focus on oneself and see the world bigger than who we are.
Oh, great. Fab. And your hairstyle too is part of it?
It's part of it, yes.
Tell us about this hairstyle.
So
Really?
this is my trademark hairstyle, the Venus Bushfires hairstyle, and I love putting a stick of bamboo in my hair because it gives me a lot of balance. I like to do a lot of moving when I perform as well.
Look at me swinging already.
So I find it's quite meditative for me as well, and also it just reminds me to be grounded. To be grounded, having literally a piece of the earth in my hair, and to do it in an artistic way, to also inspire people. You don't have to have a regular hairstyle. And with this way, I don't fit into a box. Literally, I don't physically fit into a box.
So that's what you're running away from.
Absolutely, and it gives me the space.
What's it called?
I just call it, again, it's the Venus Bushfires.
Holy moly.
Yeah, so it's just the idea.
So how do you, I want to try and understand. So this bond here, this braids, these big braids you have around.
Yes.
What does that signify in the bushfire?
That is just, that was something I threw in earlier. So this one is just for fun, but
Okay.
and the hair is also just for fun, but really it's kind of the balance, like the equilibrium.
Whoa.
I want to think it's like fluid, water. I have a song also called Mummy Water, and
Okay.
it's all, a lot of it is about what I sing is singing about cultures, about natural elements in the world, the elements, water, earth, sand, the sky, the earth, and really just, maintaining our understanding of our role to keep, the world we live in as healthy and peaceful as possible.
So this is your like your call to people to go back to nature.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
Am I allowed to do this hair?
You can. It's heavy.
Okay.
We have a lot of bamboo here, but yeah.
Whoa.
And bamboo is very light.
So
and
how do you
strong.
keep it? How do you maintain? Are you on this hair all year long, or is it something?
Yeah,
that-
pretty much. Yeah.
Pretty
Sometimes I
much.
have a lot of flowers in my hair, but my hair is definitely a statement, and it's my emblem, so to speak. And
You just spoke about Mami Water now.
yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Tell us
it's a
about
song that I have actually. I wrote it in Edo State again, and I know the mummy water here has a have connotation and it's bad. I remember when I was little, don't swim, the mummy water, and things like that. But then I thought to myself, I took myself out of it, and I tried to imagine, well, is this person bad? Is this person what? Because every culture has it. In even Disney has done a film about it, The Little Mermaid.
Yes.
That's a mummy water. In Brazil, they have, mummy water. In the UK, Celtic culture, they have the sirens. So who's this person or people that these, people are singing about? So I just thought I'd write a song called Mummy Water, but in my song, she's someone being attacked, but really has wonderful powers.
Okay.
So
Have you ever been asked if you are one of them?
I'm not a mummy water. No, I've not been asked that. To be honest, I don't even know if I really believe it's something physical. It's just an idea at the same time. I know a lot of people, when I talk about it, and when I sing the song, some people are like, oh, lovely, lovely. And some people are like, again, the mummy water. But I think, why the fear? Why the fear?
If you see one, what would be your reaction?
I'll sing the song. I'll sing my song and see what.
Maybe you should go and collab with Victor Wifo. He saw one. He saw one for
He
real.
actually did.
Yeah, he did. You're from Edo State.
I
You
know
that story
but
already.
The thing, I know the song, but I didn't know that it's because he saw one. Actually, when I first came to, when I was thinking of coming back, this is many years ago, we actually talked about doing a song together.
Wow.
And because I've been in Lagos, I haven't actually, gone back. But thank you for the reminder.
Okay, all right. Pay me for that later.
Don't you worry. You can get it from his cut.
Now, speaking of bushfires.
Yes.
Yeah, Venus bushfires. Yeah, your song is unique. Your instrumentals.
Thank you.
They're very unique. You have come up with. How did it really come? How did you start it?
It's very interesting. I used to do rock and roll music,
Okay.
punk rock. So
Really,
I
from
did.
that hard surface to this very soft.
It's
and
really,
soothing.
really
I mean,
weird because when I wrote my first album, it was a more punk, rock, pop album, and it was very hard. And it took me about 1.5 years to write it. When it came to performing it, I was always smiling. So it didn't work. My personality didn't really work with it because it's hard songs and the guitarist going crazy, and I'm singing, it just didn't work. So I thought, okay, something's not right. And the audience in that like that music, they're not necessarily
They were not connecting, right? Were they connecting?
They probably did on some level, but then I felt like I was doing too much of an act.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean? So then I was coming back to Nigeria and listening to more talking drums and really listen to more sounds. And I loved Congolese music. I said, no, it must be Nigerian. So I thought I'd start something new. Then I discovered this instrument, actually. It's called the hung in 2008
Where did you discover it?
in Ibiza, of all places, which is in Spain, in the Balearic Islands. A girl was playing it, a Jewish girl was playing it in one of the old castles. And I remember I heard it. When I heard the sound, I thought, it's the angels. This is if you can imagine that ringing out in the nighttime, and I'm listening to it, and I said to her, what is this? What is this instrument? I want to have one. And she said, they don't make it anymore. But then I found Pan Art, and I stalked them on Google. And I wrote to them and wrote to them and wrote to them. And then they finally said, come over to their house, which is in Bern in Switzerland. And I remember I had a job at the time. And my boss wouldn't give me time off to buy a drum. And I said, you've never seen this drum. This is the best thing I've ever heard. He said, I don't care. So I quit my job, went to get this, had no job.
You quit your job?
Yes.
To get this?
Of course, yes. This is the best thing. Still, when I listen to it, when I play it, it feels amazing. It was worth it. And when I quit that job and started doing this, it made me a professional musician because I needed to live off of music. And I'd given everything up for this instrument.
Please.
Yeah. And then
It's very bold and daring, and I don't know.
fortune favors the brave.
Wow.
And I heard that when I was about 12, and I didn't really understand. And I don't mean riches, just money, but I just mean good fortune. The things that I wanted in life, for example, this job didn't exist, so I had to create it. So and it's possible, and I want to show people, and that's why I kind of do things. My name is an idea, and the songs are ideas, because I think when you believe in something, you can make it happen.
Okay, most of your songs are actually very abstract. They're not, secular. They're different, abstract.
Yes.
Do you connect with the spirit when you do your songs, or is it something you put up an act, or is something that comes naturally from the universe?
I think it's from the universe. I believe in God, so I think that most of the time the songs are written, the poems are written, and I think it's me getting out of the way of the song. Do you see what I mean? Sometimes you
getting out of it, and then the thing consuming you and taking over.
Absolutely. So sometimes if I sit down to write something, any song that is on my album that I've ever written, the Venus Bushfires EP, it comes very easily. If it's hard, then I realize that I'm getting too involved. This must rhyme, that must rhyme. This is not working, that's not working. But when you just say, okay, I am a vessel.
Use me.
Use me. That's exactly what it is. So really, for me, it's my ability to get out of the way rather than my ability to put something in. Is the ability to get out of the way of a good song, and then I just allow my hands to do it, or I allow my voice to do the singing, and then that's it.
Wow. So how many albums do you have to your credit?
Well, I've been involved in many albums as a songwriter and as a musician, but my own personal albums are 2.
2 albums?
Yeah.
Wow. So which is your favorite?
It's the last one, the Venus Bushfires EP, because I think I finally found my voice. And I'm so grateful for that, actually. I'm really grateful, because when I listen to it, I'm proud of the music, and it speaks of all the places I've traveled. It's Nigerian, it's Africa, as you know, Africa's not a country, as everyone around the world seems to think, but it's about celebrating Africa in the broadest terms, and it's about showing people different sides of our culture, the youth, and the positivity. And even I want to create a platform where people can actually show their heart. So I must show my heart to say it's actually okay, because we are just people. Everyone is here trying to figure out why we're here, and make a living, make ends meet, love their family, love their children, find someone to in life, and we're on the same journey.
Wow. Speaking of journey, let's take the audience into a journey with Venus Bushfires.
Okay.
Saturday night. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Now, this life is a blessing. All of these years I've known, when it is my turn to leave here, I will gladly free these bones. I create a shadow like an eagle for last winter's sparrow. I seen a broken wings, the waiting in the belfry to ring in the hour.
All right, welcome back. That was excerpts from one of her performance. She tagged Last Winter's Sparrows. Wow, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. I was so carried away, I went spiritual as well. I mean,
lovely. I'm glad you went there. It's like a flying saucer as well.
So how do you play it?
So this is a very interesting instrument, because it's metallic and it's percussive, but you don't hit it hard. In fact, the harder you hit it, the less of a sound you get, but the softer you hit it, you get a really lovely sound. So it puts you in that space already.
Okay.
So maybe we can play something together.
All right.
So if you can hit this. So we did a collaborative song together. So round of applause for yourself. You did better than me. When I first got this instrument, I literally did that.
You did that. There was this angelic one you did, like
this one. And it reminds me of water and peace and meditating and
wow.
Thank you.
I wish I can have this. This can put me to sleep. Put me in a very relaxed.
I'll give you one of my CDs.
You will.
Says, yeah, my pleasure.
Thank you
It'll be
so
my
much.
pleasure.
Thank you so much. So now, what kind of age bracket do you appeal to? Does this one appeal to children as well?
Children love it. Actually,
They love it.
I started a charity.
Are you sure it's not your head?
Well, when I do the workshops, I sometimes have the hair in, but sometimes I go, just wearing a t-shirt, so the children find it easy to talk to you. I do workshops through my charity called Just a Day, actually.
Okay.
So I run workshops for young children, and these workshops have been run in the UK, in Brazil, in Sri Lanka, with children that are coming from war-torn countries. And when they hear this sound, you just see the peace on their face. And I also do high-end events, and I do museums and galleries and dignitaries around the world. I did a performance in Brazil last year for the vice president, actually, of Nigeria. There was an event in Brazil, and I do global events around the world. So
okay, so are you going to reinvent this with time, or don't you think sometime maybe people will get bored? Aren't you afraid of that at all?
No, I'm not afraid of that at all.
Tell me about it.
I'm not afraid, because I write music and I compose music.
You sing?
I sing, yes. So I sing with this instrument, and I sing without this instrument as well. So I use a lot of indigenous African drums and things like that. So I'm not afraid that people get bored. This isn't my only instrument.
Oh, great.
So
this is your identity.
This is one of my favorite instruments to play.
Okay.
But my identity is more this. And the things that I say and stand for, rather than the things I play, because as a musician, you explore new things, you find new things all the time.
Yeah.
And in fact, what I love the most is going to a new country, meeting the people, not the people in the concerts, but the people in the maybe more rural areas.
Anyway, the beauty about your own music is that you're all encompassing. You are, you welcome everybody into your fold.
Absolutely.
And by the grace of God, you'll go very far.
Amen. Thank you.
It's such a pleasure
Thank
having
you
you.
so
In fact,
much.
I wish I could have you longer, but it's okay. I mean, there are other times I will come,
Please,
Maybe
it'll
when
be
next you're
great to
launching
be
your album
back.
or something.
Brilliant.
you
I just
come
want
on.
to give a shout out.
Oh, please do.
I want to
please
give a
do.
shout out to
Please.
my charity, Just a Day. You can find out more information at justaday.org.uk. The Richard Coker Foundation, which Miss Julie Coker is
Okay.
actually one of the heads of, and my
Okay.
fiance.
Okay.
And you can find out information about them as well. So
Wow.
it's supporting people in Nigeria with
Okay.
sickle cell.
Oh, okay.
So that's a really
great.
important one, and you can
That's a noble cause.
You can
That's a
check
noble
out
cause.
my music at thevenusbushfires.com. On Twitter, it's at Venus Bushfires. On Instagram, it's The Venus Bushfires. And thank you so much for being here. I've
Thank you
loved
so
it.
much. And so when we finish from here, we just walk straight to the accountant so that you can pay for the advert you just made.
Okay, I'll call my fiance. No, I'm joking. He'll send me back.
All right, so viewers, this is where we wrap it up for tonight on Saturday night. Thank you so much for being part of it. Until next week, when we come up with another guest, it's been Saturday night. And like I always say, be kind to one another. Good night.